Okay, I have heard from Brent Spiner, and let me go ahead and read the letter that he wrote me. I got this yesterday on the 12th. Dearest Gail, over the past week, I've had my hands full. As both a medical doctor and a president, this has been quite the job for me. Soon after the explosion at Noble nuclear semen plant, Church of Gail began receiving waves of injured, dying, and impregnated survivors. I've since been working 24-hour double shifts at the Church of Gail Hospital, saving lives and performing as many abortions as I possibly can. On Wednesday, October 6th, I had squeezed in time to deliver a quick speech on the Gabrielle Chana Fox News station addressing the nation. For those who were unable to tune into channel 00 on cable to hear my presidential speech, this is a transcript. My fellow Americans, today our nation witnesses a great world tragedy, not only on our own precious soil, but across the sea to our dear friends in Japan. On behalf of all Americans, my heart goes out to the Japanese men, women, and children who were bukkakied on this day from the explosion at the Noble nuclear semen plant. On October 5th at 11:23 p.m., a tsunami comprised of radioactive semen had made its way from Japan and reached American shores. The entire West Coast, spanning from California to Oregon, Washington, Nevada, and Idaho, was washed in waves of bukkake. In advance of this imminent disaster, I had emergency FEMA teams on standby, ready to take action. In an effort to minimize or prevent the tsunami wave from hitting our country, our teams on board Church of Gail were deployed to fire spermicide missiles filled with anti-semen payload to vaporize as much semen as possible. That was the green aurora borealis that you would have seen on my previous video. Within hours, the tsunami had greatly reduced in size. As much as 75%, from what I am told by our analysts. Had the United States not intervened so quickly, the waves of semen may have washed the entire western half of the United States, likely as far as Texas. Following every darkness comes the dawn. Amidst this great tragedy, we have had many heroes rise out of the semen, both literally and metaphorically. Gail's dear $25 patron, Prometheus, was miraculously rescued from the ocean of semen at Ground Zero in Nagasaki. In a last-ditch effort to prevent this tragedy and save lives, Prometheus had offered his very own life to extinguish Noble. Covered in explosives filled with Mucinex DM, he triumphantly screamed, "Allah Akbar!" and ran into the plant. The explosives failed to detonate, and Prometheus was presumed dead in the explosion shortly following. In the hours after the explosion, many search and rescue volunteers came forward to fish bodies out of the semen. Gail's newest $25 patron, who goes by the nickname Demon, had donned a protective radiation suit and joined the brave volunteers. Floating to the surface above the wreckage was none other than the body of Prometheus. Demon swam toward him at a rapid speed, fearing the worst. Though first assumed dead, Prometheus started moving. Coming to, he coughed and began spurting semen from his mouth. demon immediately pulled him upright and began smacking his back, causing Prometheus to gag out all of the semen he had swallowed from his ordeal. He was alive! Upon examination in my office, it was clear that he was suffering from the lingering effects of Mucinex DM and would be unable to come for a week. However, the drug appeared to have protected him from the radioactive effects of the semen. It is a miracle he is still with us. Prometheus, at his request, was sent home to his family in Dubai, where he was able to make a full recovery, and even made it to last week's Gail Friday Hangout live on Discord for all $5 and up patrons. It is with great pride that I will be issuing both a Purple Heart and Medal of Honor to Prometheus for his bravery. I will be doing so live on the Gabriel Chana Fox News at the soonest opportunity. At this time, myself and my medical team are prioritizing the survivors of the Cum Noble nuclear semen plant. Those unable to make it to hospital in their local areas are urged to come to Church of Gail. Our services are free of charge. Unfortunately, the line for free abortions has exceeded our team's capacity. It is our prediction that many babies will be born from this tragedy whose mothers were unable to successfully abort in time. And that might be because Jesuit babies grow very fast. They have accelerated growth hormones. I'm adding this in. As your president, I can assure you we will be providing support to these mothers and the fallout of Cum Noble babies. I urge everyone to stay calm and await future updates from myself and President Gail. We will ensure all Americans are taken care of, and we will be extending our support to our Japanese allies. Now I must return to Church of Gail to continue my rounds. Zach Knight, the leader of the friendly Zach Knight Jesuits, has a few words to say. Brent exits the podium, and Zach Knight takes the stage. A black female sign language interpreter takes the stage behind Zach Knight and begins to sign as he speaks. Hey everyone, this is Zach Knight. I think we all learned a valuable lesson here. Sometimes when you really need to come, the sign language interpreter makes jazz hands, then grabbed her crotch in desperation and made a sour face. You're willing to try all sorts of weird things that you wouldn't otherwise think was a good idea. And you really only realize how weird or perverted the ideas were until after you've come. You immediately realize it when you come out of it and realize what you had done. Dramatic pause. The sign language interpreter frantically wiggled her hands, then mimed passing out and coming to. She covered her eyes with her hands, then removed her hands and made a face of shock. Our decisions leading up to the explosion seemed like good ideas at the time, but now in the aftermath, my scientists and I all agree that the Nagabukaki plant just needed to come. The sign language interpreter made a wild jacking off motion with her hands and then flung her hang out as if to spray the audience with semen. Thanks. Zach exits the podium and can be heard telling a woman in the audience nice tits as he tips his hat. This live presidential address can be viewed on the Perfect Penis version of Gail's website. That's gabrielchana.blog. And it might have perfect penis added to it too. I don't know. I'm not sure what they've done. That is, anyone using our cloned version of the internet can view the full version of the website and access these videos. Well, my dear, it's time to get back to work. Any moment I can, I get a bite to eat of your wonderful home-cooked meals that you transport over to us on Church of Gail. Your nutritious cooking has been nourishing my body and keeping me going strong. I feel so lucky to have such a hardworking, supportive wife. And I feel the exact same way about my husband. I'm very proud of him. And I actually told him I wanted him to be my co-president. And as I expected, he is doing great. Without you in my thoughts and in my heart, I couldn't be nearly the man that I am. Your husband and co-president, Brent Spiner. So you guys, I wanted to get this out, and I will be embedding this video at my website where I actually have a written transcript of the letter that he wrote. So, but I wanted to give you all this update.
Amen.